Hello everyone, it's Eliza McNamara here to talk to you today about the importance of being yourself. What I've noticed is very few people actually know who they are, so they're incapable of being themselves because they themselves do not know who they are. And the very first step to actually being yourself and not worrying about what other people think and not being driven by your friends or the media or society's view of how you should live your life. The very first step is to know who you are, because if you're strong in who you are and you really know who you are, then no amount of brainwashing is going to turn you into someone you're not, is going to persuade you to do things that would be out of character for you, because you know what your character is. See, a lot of people, because they work so hard and they work such long hours, they don't actually have any time to get to know themselves. They don't have time with themselves. They spend a huge amount of time with their colleagues and their co-workers, and then they spend the rest of their time with their flatmates or their husband or their wife and their kids. So there's no time in there for them to know who they are. And on top of this, people are constantly being bombarded with messages from advertising, from the media, that the average person spends 4 hours a day watching television. 9 years. The average person spends 9 years of their life over a period of 70 years or however long they live for watching television, which is full of brainwashing, which is full of messages telling you who you should be, what you should wear, what you should look like, who you should associate with, what kind of work you should do, where you should study. We're constantly being bombarded with all of this advertising. And it's impossible now to walk down the street or turn on the television or listen to the radio without listening to advertising. And if you actually spend a day paying attention to these messages, you'll realize that most of them have influenced you and your life, at least to some degree. And we all like to think that we're free. We all like to think that we have freedom of thought. But the fact of the matter is, most people are not free at all. They're constantly doing things because they feel a very big desire to please others. And let's face it, if you don't please others, at least to some degree, then you're going to be very, very lonely. So you have to, at least to some degree, conform. We live in a society that runs in a way that has to be God, this is going to need editing. We live in a society that requires us to conform, to fit into the systems that have been created for us. You know, these systems keep things going, and these systems are fantastic, but we also need to make sure that we take time away from our work, away from our families, away from our friends, to really get in touch with who we are and stay true to who we are and not be influenced by advertising. Because there are women who have 50 pairs of shoes and there are women who have 10 pairs of shoes. Who's to say that having 50 pairs of shoes is going to make you happy? Of course it's not. The media will have you believe that having 50 pairs of shoes is a fantastic thing for a woman to do. And the media will make you think that if you're a woman and you have 50 pairs of shoes, you're normal. And if you don't, well, there's something wrong with you. And if you're a man and you have those 50 pairs of shoes, oh, there's definitely something wrong with you there. You know, men are encouraged to be successful and to have success in business and to accomplish things, and women are encouraged to be crazy about children and be crazy about what they look like and spend inordinate amounts of time and money on shopping and plastic surgery and goodness knows what else. And the sad thing is, if you look around you in most developed countries, a lot of women are conforming to this, and a lot of men are conforming to this too. I mean, how many women do you know that are obsessed about their appearance? And how many men do you know that are obsessed about their work? I'm not saying it's bad to care about what you look like or that it's bad to be obsessed about your work. What I am saying is that the reason why we're obsessed about the things we're obsessed about is often not something that comes from within us, not something that comes from our desires. It's often something which comes from the outside. and we internalize these things, and we think that it's who we are, and we think that it's normal, but it's not. It's years and years and years of being exposed to constant expectations and constant advertising which tells you you should be this person. And it takes a very, very, very strong individual to be able to go, no, I'm not going to do things just because other people tell me to, or because I'm constantly being marketed to. No, I'm going to do things because I truly want to do them. But in order to be in touch with that person and to have that strong sense of individuality, you really do need to have that time to yourself. In this society, very few people have that time and have that luxury to actually take a step back and go, hang on a minute, this is not me. So at least having an awareness, you can go, right, I'm aware of this, so I'm either going to fix it or I'm not going to let it happen in the first place. So the best solution in all of this is to just have a little bit of time to yourself. It doesn't need to be a year-long trip around the world. It doesn't need to be a great big deal. It's something that you could fit into your schedule. And it's something that just requires a little bit of thought and a little bit of self-honesty. If you're really honest with yourself, you're really brutally honest with yourself, and you'll probably see that there are some things in your life that do not reflect who you are, that you're not completely happy with, because nobody's perfect. And just having maybe 15 minutes a day where you switch off your phone and you're not at work and you just chill out can be enough to help you to get in touch with these things and figure out what they are and take steps to fix them so you can be happier.